What's up everybody? My name's Jamie, this is the BladesAndEDC channel, and today we are going to take a look at how a double detent knife works. The way I'm going to show you that is I'm going to disassemble this knife and show you exactly what's going on inside it. We'll go ahead and clean it up and lube it up. And this is the Monterey Bay Knives EWC. EWC stands for Everywhere Carry, and the thought behind this knife was slightly under 3-inch blade, and it's a non-lichen knife. So should be legal in most places, but you know, I'm sure there's somewhere it's still illegal, but for generally most places you should be able to carry this knife. But a double detent knife is a knife that you want to be careful with it when you're using it, because the blade can close on you. As you see, there's nothing really holding that blade open other than a little bit of pressure from a detent ball. So so let's take this apart, clean it up. I'll show you how a double detent knife works. And where are we going to start at? Looks like we're going to start, we have to do it on the show side because that's where the pivot screw is at. Alright, so going to be using the GoodSkrew. Everybody should have a GoodSkrew, at least one. Actually, I don't know why I'm starting with the pivot. I do not want to start with the pivot. I want to start right here on the body screws. Actually, that's not a screw. So I'm going to have to fully disassemble it. Okay, let's take the pocket clip off then. I'd already unscrewed that one enough. So this has sleeves in it. That's a long screw. This one's going to be much shorter because it would hit the blade if it was that long. Keep those separate so we don't mix them up. Oh, come on now. Get in there. You get in there where we don't lose anything, or I'm not going to lose anything. You see what I mean? It has sleeves in it. So this has another sleeve there. So should just be the pivot screw now. Definitely some Loctite in there. There weren't any on the other screws, but I can feel it on the pivot screw. Yep. Definitely a little bit Loctite. Alright. So let's open her up. Back spacer's falling out. There we go. Alright, so there's the inside of one scale. Got an internal stop pin in there, as you see. Basically just makes it ride nice and smooth on the open and the close. And there's some tight tolerances around that. Come off there, blade. There we go. So, bearings just like any other knife. You even have a liner like any other knife with a detent ball. And let me get some rubbing alcohol on this. And but the liner does not act as a lock. It's just providing the pressure for the ceramic detent ball to do what it needs to do. It provides enough pressure to keep the blade closed when you have it closed. And it acts as a detent, so when you do deploy it, the blade comes out quicker. And then while it's deployed, it does the exact same thing, but just in reverse. It's helping to hold the blade open, and so it takes a little bit of pressure to close it, and it's not just a completely free blade. All right. Clean this all up. So if you look at the blade here, let me wipe off this old lube real quick first. And I'll show you. So you got on all you know, liner locks, frame locks, most knives, you know, folding knives are going to have a detent hole in the blade. On most knives, that hole is just used when the blade is closed, like what's a good example here? Actually, we'll use another Monterey Bay knives. So you've got that same liner in here with a detent, just like that, except it comes out enough to hold the blade locked open. And then there's a detent hole, only one detent hole that holds this blade in, and it also provides enough friction or force so that when you do break that detent, the blade just flies out like that. But with a double detent knife, you have two of those holes. One for the close, one for the open. Let's I'm going to clean those detent holes out real good. So I'm going to soak a doodad here in some rubbing alcohol and just get everything out of there. Yeah, it's a little dirty. Yeah, definitely a little dirty. Alright. So it's actually quite simple design, you know, very simple. But this is a knife you do not want to hard use, and you need to be very aware you're carrying this knife and how it works if you're going to carry one of these, because yeah, it can easily close on you and get you. So, all right, let's grab a doodad and put some lube on there. And I'm using Zero Friction by ProShot. You get 30 milliliters of this stuff for like $7 or $8. It works every bit as good as KPL or Gunny Glide. And you get 3 times as much than you get for KPL for half the price of one bottle of KPL. So it works out to be an insanely good deal, and it works very well. This one bottle will probably last me forever. So for it's like $7 or $8. It's linked in the description. You're going to pick some up. That does help the channel a little bit, so I do appreciate it. So are these doodads. Don't buy those from KPL. They charge like $9 for 50 of them, and you can get 500 of them for like $6 or $7. So save your money and spend it on better knives. These would be down there, and so will the tools also. The GoodSkrew you can't get on Amazon, but I will link. Their website is linked down there also. And I don't make any money off if you buy anything from GoodSkrew. They're great people though, and they would make a fantastic tool. So, all right, let's grab another doodad. Actually, I don't think I need a doodad to put the heavy. I'm gonna use KPL Heavy because I haven't found a cheaper alternative that's better than this yet, or as good as this that costs less money. But as far as the regular KPL, yes, the ProShot Zero Friction works every bit as good and costs a whole lot less. So I'm going to put a little KPL Heavy in each detent hole there. Spread a little bit here, a little bit there in that detent track, and that should be more than enough there. Very simple design. They truly are. I had another one here. It was the Vero, I want to say Neuron. I think it's Neuron. Or maybe it's called Neutron. I can't remember. It was in the knife sale. Somebody bought it. ID bought it. And man, I miss that knife. It was more fidgety than this knife. It was a much more fidget-friendly knife for sure. So if any of you guys live somewhere that you can't carry a locking knife, comment below, let me know where it is. I'm interested to see what kind of places there are out there where you can't have a locking knife. Some stupid laws in our world today. And as far as I know, it's just like Europe that has those laws, but I could be wrong about that. I don't think there's anywhere in the United States you can't carry a locking folder. I know like Chicago and places you can't carry anything over like 3 inches, and other places, New York I think is like that. The city at least is anyway, and it's mostly these liberal hellholes that have those stupid laws from what I can see. Down in the South, we don't deal with any of that nonsense. I'm not putting Loctite on this at the moment, but I probably will go back and take that pivot screw out and put some Loctite in there once I have this knife fully assembled, and I'll make sure everything's good. Although, I don't know, man. I don't know if it really even needs Loctite. I don't like to use Loctite on a lot of my knives. Alright. Need to go ahead and put that clip in there because that other sleeve is coming through. Nothing holding it in there. Alright. Straighten that clip out. It's not notched out in there to hold it straight, so you got to kind of just line it up yourself. And this knife will be in the upcoming knife sale, just FYI. Along with the other Monterey Bay knife you saw, the slayback with carbon fiber. Get that lube moving around. Yeah, there you go, guys. So that's how a double detent works. And I have no way to measure the pressure it takes, but it doesn't take much pressure to pass by that detent, so that detent hole. I'd say it's less than a pound of pressure to do that. But yeah, very fun knives to play with. Not the most practical for use, although they will work for your basic use, opening packages and stuff like that. But this is not a knife, or any double detent knife I wouldn't recommend to use as a primary knife, unless you're in one of those places where that's all you're legally allowed to have. So in that case, this is a fantastic knife. It really is. It's made extremely well. Titanium M390. Looks good as hell in my opinion too. Really good looking knife. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up. If there are any other cool detent knives out there, or double detent knives out there that you are aware of that are super fidget friendly, comment below with that also. I'd love to. I kind of like double detent knives. I don't know if it's just the novelty of it or what it is, or just the fidgetability. I like them. I really do. Just to sit and play with, they're great. So yeah, comment below, let me know if there are any others that are interesting that I should check out. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and I will see you guys on the next one.